Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, June 15th, 2017.
Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk, and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here, and an interesting day shaping up ahead. Two pieces of economic news that I think are worth noting. The Fed decided to raise rates yesterday, a quarter point, and the Bank of England decided to hold steady. They announced that this morning, so worth noting. But with that, let's get into today's video. We always start off with a look at the Russell Index. We use the Russell as our simple proxy for the markets overall. I want to keep these videos as short as possible, and so I just use the Russell. I deem it to be the most interest rate sensitive index out there, so that's the one we go with. We start off by looking at it on the bigger time frame. We like the 5-year monthly, and we use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. So we've been keeping an eye on this wedge pattern shaping up here. We're looking at the monthly candles. This is more longer term support and resistance down here, this blue line, but we're just really paying attention to this area here. Worth noting, we're halfway through June. The candle so far has a bullish orientation, but it is following a candle last month that was red after a series of undecided candles. I would call these kind of undecided. There's no authority in them one way or the other. They're just kind of going sideways. This one had a little more red to it with a larger body, and this one so far has a bullish orientation, but we're keeping an eye for sure. So I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the monthly, I should say, to the 1-year weekly. Here's that same orange line of support. We've been talking lately in our videos repetitively how this black line up here seems to offer resistance to the Russell. It offered it here in the middle of February, drifted down to our orange line, offered it again in April, and here we are right back up in that area. Last week we had a doji on the week. So this week will be kind of important. Which way do we want to go? Trying to keep an open mind, but we are remembering the red candle for the month of May. So we don't want to see another back-to-back red candle for June, and there's 2 weeks left in the month. Going to move it away from the weekly to the 6-month daily. We use this blue line as our guide. This is the 8-day EMA. When price on the Russell is trading up and over the 8-day EMA, we will be putting new charts forward. So with price up and over that 8-day, I'll be putting a new chart forward this morning. And so that new name we're going to add to our watch list this morning is Facebook, ticker symbol FB, trades on the NASDAQ exchange. Before I get into the chart, let me tell you a little bit more about the company. I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with Facebook. Incorporated in 2004. It's a huge social media marketing, e-commerce internet site. You know at Chart of the Day Cafe, it is all about value, and Facebook has a really nice high value score. Second thing I look for is growth, and Facebook has a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 33%. Third thing I look for, it's not a must like value and growth, is a dividend, and Facebook unfortunately does not pay a dividend, but I've been watching this chart for a long time, really wanted to feature it, looking for a place to add it to our watch list, and so I'm taking the opportunity. So no dividend, but otherwise the scores are terrific. Current PE of 27.77, and worth noting, sales last year, sales growth 49%. So with that, let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 5-year monthly. First thing you want to note is the beautiful uptrend, just a freight train of positive price action on the monthly chart. Little bit of a candle that will get my interest anyway here last month. Is it just consolidation and a continuation up, or will this be a candle that marks a little bit more of a top? We will see. I'm going to move it away from the monthly to the 1-year weekly. And so this is how Facebook is looking here. I like this area of support that I can identify here. And I'm putting it forward because in this market environment where things are getting a little rough, Facebook is such a desired name and stock. It's got Kramer's backing. It's such a desirable stock. If it can't catch a bid here, then that'll be interesting to me. So putting it on the watch list way too early, but want to keep an eye on these guys that are so well known and so the scores and the growth, everything's there. If the market doesn't pick these guys up, that's interesting. So price is below. Now we're looking at the 9-month daily. Here's the orange line we just put in. We had a touch. We had a touch here again on Friday. So the futures are looking to get off to a rough start this morning, but I'll be watching Facebook in the days ahead to see if it can recover here and start to resume that trend higher. If it does not, then that is really worth noting. Along with our watch list pick, we like to take a look at the sector that it's in, and for that we're going over to XLK, which is the technology sector ETF. We're looking at the 5-year monthly chart. You can see, just like Facebook, beautiful uptrend on the 5-year. Had this period of consolidation in here, but of late, like the last year or so, just a nice steady tick higher. Worth noting though, the candle so far for the month of June is shaping up to be a little bit of a red candle. Would this be an interruption in that uptrend? We'll see. We still have 2 weeks left in the month of June, so I will be keeping an eye on this candle to see how it shapes up for the month for sure. Going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 9-month daily so we can better see how price is behaving. We had that big technology sell-off last Friday on volume, but so far it's holding that area of support. So I will be watching. I'm trying to keep an open mind here and not get too bearish in my orientation. I see a low here and a possible slightly higher low. So if Facebook and technology can recover here, that'll be interesting. And if they don't, again, it's that possible red candle for the month, and that's worth noting as well. Along with that, we like to look at seasonality, but I couldn't find a seasonal chart for Facebook, so I'm going to skip that in the video today. We also like to go to FinViz and see analyst support for our watch list pick, and here is the section in FinViz for Facebook. You can see that for the most part, very positive buy recommendations, so it's got that analyst support. Series of great articles as well. Facebook is a well-covered stock. This one is the one I'm going to feature with today's video. It's a Motley Fool article, basically talking about Facebook's positive upside potential. So my thinking being this morning and in the days ahead, if the market rejects a stock like Facebook with all of this growth and these scores, then that is worth noting for sure. And so to review, let's go back and check our boxes. We started off by looking at the market overall. We use the IWM for that. And we can see that overall the market's in an uptrend. Having said that, it's been trading sideways for a number of months. And we had a red candle for the month of May. So we're keeping an eye on price really closely here. But overall, price on the IWM is up and over that 8-day EMA. We looked at the sector that Facebook is in, XLK. We can see that it's in an uptrend on the 5-year chart and at an area of possible lift, emphasize possible, because we can see that the candle so far for the month of June is a red one. So we don't want to see that selling continue, keeping an eye. We looked at Facebook, overall uptrend on the 5-year chart and at an area of possible price continuation. Great value score. Great growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate of 33%. Does not pay a dividend, so we don't have that box checked. It does not have a 3 and 8 EMA cross, what we look for, so it's not checked. And I couldn't find a seasonal chart, so it's not checked either. But it does have that analyst support. We looked at FinViz, overall PE of 27.77, and earnings coming up on July 26th. So worth keeping an eye on Facebook here. So with that, I will leave you. We'll put our next video out on Tuesday. Good luck in the days ahead. It should be interesting to see how price resolves itself. Thanks for watching.